All right. We're recording
So
again. What? What were you going to say?
Well, we have lists to do.
I don't have a list ready.
Great. So,
I know. I got to get them
uh,
done. Sad part is I come up with most of the lists and I just wasn't ready. I'm pretty bummed about the, what was that one list? It was the one where the second, what were we calling it though? It's like the second party. What do you call the supporting character? Yeah, supporting character. So supporting
oh,
character
best
was,
scene stealer.
yeah, I'm bummed about that one because when I brought it up to you a couple weeks ago, I actually specifically had someone in mind that I was like, oh, this is a good one. And I checked my notebook I write in. I checked, sometimes I just do it in Notepad. And I checked there, and I don't have it. So I'm going to have to redo that.
I only have one for that. One that I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, I have a new one for it. I'm hoping I can remember the original. Um, One of the things that helped me, though, is when I think about it, I usually have one in mind, so I always have one. The gaming console one I came up with just because I've been thinking about portable consoles a lot lately.
I was thinking about that. But the problem with it is, like, three of them would just basically be the Switch.
Yeah, but why would you
Like,
say
if the
that
Game
it
Gear
already
came back.
exists?
No, but like, if the Game Gear came back, or they made a portable Super Nintendo, it's basically the Switch.
Yeah. Well, you just wrecked that one for me, you bastard.
Because Game Gear would come back, you'd be like, okay, bigger screen. Well, the Genesis games are on the Switch, so why couldn't they get Game Gear? It would just be that.
That's
And the Super
true.
Nintendo is basically the Switch. So, I mean, they don't blame me. Blame Nintendo for creating that thing.
Damn it. Yeah, you're right. All right, forget that one. God, I was pretty proud of that one, too. And, sad thing, and of course you go, what do you mean, the Game Gear? When you ask me, I'm like, bastard, that's the one, that's my number one, you bitch.
Well, mine too. But yeah, and I was like thinking about it. Like, well, I'm like, okay, how would I improve the Game Gear? I make the screen bigger, and then in my head, it's like, oh, it's just the Switch.
I mean, it wouldn't have been the end of the, well, I guess we can just talk about it anyways. It wouldn't, it could have still been done, though, because, like, PlayStation Portable, that would have made my list. Or the
But see, that needs the support. Because Sony put it out like a year later. Like, what? What PSP?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I died is because it didn't have the support. People generally really liked their PSPs. I don't know anyone who owned the Vita who went, I hated this thing. I mean, everyone I know who had the Vita liked the Vita.
I didn't get the Vita because there was 3 games for it, and then it was just abandoned. Because I had the PSP and I saw how that was going to go.
Oh, God, you're right. Well, I think there might have been 4 games.
Oh, I didn't mean to short them. My mistake.
Yeah, because they made Deathmark. That thing sucked. So I had the PS TV, which played the PSP or PS Vita games. Well, some of them. And so when they were closing about, the funny thing is they've gone up in price, but there was a short window where they were just, if you could find them in a store, they were cheap as piss. And so I was picking up any of the ones that were compatible with the PS TV. And but I got the PS TV because the cool thing is you can do remote play with your PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. I want to say it has PS5 support also. I'm not positive on that though, but I think it does. But
The Vita?
The Vita and the PS TV. The only problem with the Vita though is the controls are effed up because part of it's a touch panel on the back, and I hate that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't like touch panels. I have a phone. If I want touch panels, I'd play games on there. I don't play games on there for a reason. Well, that's not true. I do play some games, but
What was the Go, right? That was different from the Vita.
yeah, the Go. I think mine. Oh, it's not.
Is that the one that slid up?
Yeah, it slid up and had no hardware support. It was all
Yeah.
software. Well, hardware is a bad terminology. It had no cartridge support or physical media. It did have physical media support.
Yeah.
That one's pretty cool though because I hacked mine and it plays PS1 games really friggin' well. I mean, basically, it's a portable PlayStation 1. The Vita, I heard, has a new hack out for it now, and because the Vita is basically a PlayStation 3,
Yeah.
that thing can do some stuff. My problem is I don't Whenever I play handhelds, it's always retro stuff though. So can't believe I don't have anything sitting right here. But I generally have, like a retro pocket or whatever the hell they call it, Pocket Go. God, what BitBoy Go? I can't remember anymore. But otherwise, I'm playing this thing. I usually
Oh,
have
DS.
my 3DS, yeah, and then I have
What they call it?
the grip.
I never have the 3D on.
Oh, I do on this one, mainly because I've been playing Mario's or Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion's actually really good in 3D. Sometimes I turn it on. It depends on the game. If I'm doing a side scroller, I don't turn it on. But Luigi's Mansion, I do suggest playing it because I played it on my 2DS also because I have the clamshell 2DS, and I would say it does add to it. I do like it. Other than that, yeah, I don't even play that very often. I play
All I
this.
play right now is the PS5. The Switch once in a while.
I haven't touched this thing since we played last time.
I did because I had an update to do.
I
And I will at the end of October when Bayonetta 3 comes out.
Yeah, the last game I played Explosive Take. It's one of those games I got from Premium Games, like when I was at Midwest Gaming Classic. It's actually kind of a fun game. But yeah, I generally, Kendall and I watched the movie. So on the Quarry, you get to watch the movie, and there's three ways of watching it. There's the everyone lives, everyone dies, and then there's the gore fest.
Yeah, you told me about that one. It's not gory at all.
It gets better. We shut
Okay.
it off right when, so two people got injured, and we shut it off because we were already 2 hours and 40 minutes into it. We're like, oh my God, this is slow. It picked up after that. It actually got kind of entertaining after that. Maybe we were in a different mood for it. I don't know, but it makes me want to. Jacob survives in the gore fest spoilers. It's
Well, I mean, he could survive too if he did the puzzle right.
Yeah, it's kind of so there's going to be a bunch of I'm just going to talk about it. Screw it. So you know how the grandma gets her face blown off?
Yeah.
That's crap's gory. That's not in the gore fest.
Okay.
You would think that was be in there because
That's
like
one of the goriest parts of the game.
yeah, it even jiggles and crap when she hits the ground. It's disgusting. It's awesome. Like when that happened in the game, Kendall and I were both like, "What?" The funny thing is that's a two-player. You can play couch co-op on that game. I don't get how.
Doesn't one? I forget. I thought I read how you do it. One person controls the dialogue options, and one person controls the quick time events or something.
Well, that's stupid.
I don't know, something like that.
That's
Not every game needs goddamn co-op. Just play it.
We already beat it. I want co-op now.
Okay.
Couch
DLC.
co-op. Are you
Game's
saying
close.
games don't need couch co-op?
Not all.
No, they all do. You're wrong.
Okay. That'll be the first time.
So I know the part you were talking about, your first death you had, because we didn't leave the island with Max, so we didn't lose that, but then you said you did.
The game says leave the island
Yeah.
on the fucking thing. Bastards tricked me.
Yeah, but earlier in the game, they mentioned about how so-and-so should be safe there because they're on an island. So we thought about that, actually. Actually, I told Kendall to leave the island. She's like, no, remember, he's safe here. I'm like, you know what? You're right. They did talk about that. Stay on the island.
Didn't Emma go there and get attacked? So she wasn't very safe on the goddamn island.
Yes, but Max was not a werewolf anymore.
Well, whatever.
Those
I
are
didn't know
good.
which werewolf that was. I didn't know that was Max the werewolf. I thought it was Caleb or whatever. I had no idea what werewolf was chasing her.
Well, at that point you don't, but at the point where you have Max leave the island, you do.
I don't know. I just went by what the goddamn game told me.
You shouldn't have left the island.
No, I shouldn't have.
I did get to see Winter or Summer, whatever her name is, her head get ripped off, though.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's
Yeah, that
pretty
sucked.
gruesome.
I was so pissed off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was your other death. Yeah, it was in the gruesome version, the way Nick, the Australian kid, dies, He gets shot while in the cage.
Okay, big deal.
It's just so uneventful. But
Yeah,
that's how Jacob doesn't die.
I suppose.
Yeah, he gets bit though. It's should I not be telling you this stuff?
Uh, I'm not playing it again.
Okay. It's so long and drawn out. Yeah,
See, that's another. It's kind of why I didn't want to play it again. I'm like, I don't want to go through that opening like hour again because that is so sluggish.
no, it's over 2 hours. It's almost 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't. I just want to get to it.
Yeah,
Let's skip the whole first part and get right to the camp.
you can do chapter select now that you beat it though.
I don't feel like it's cheating. That's all right. I mean, I'm the one that made the fucking error.
Well, you know when Emma goes in the van to hide or go take a nap and stuff?
Yeah,
There's a scenario where she's bitten. So when you open up the door, she comes out as a werewolf.
I think there's a trophy that you get if you have them all bitten.
There could be, because there's stuff we still haven't unlocked. There, man, when she comes out, the Connor or whatever, the one kid who loses his hand, he he gets F the F up from Emma.
That,
Yeah. I felt bad. I remember when they walked in, when Pikachu and Connor walk into into the Radio Shack, and I went to Kendall. I'm like, "There's a chainsaw right there. I even see the cuff where you put your hand in." And then the next cutscene, it's not there, and I'm like, "Wait a second!" But then it comes back because they use it. I'm like, "Yeah, Groovy Company. That was awesome. That was a nice little touch."
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good game, but I hate to say it, it's kind of a one-time play. I mean, I know they tried to give it replay value, but it's a glorified Dragon Quest. I mean, it's just go right, go left. Okay, make a decision here. You're not really playing the game. And when you walk around where you actually feel like maybe you're playing the game, your walking is so stinking slow. We couldn't get past that. Kendall and I both hated that part. But I don't regret the game. It was fun. We might play it one more time because we have the 80s version.
Oh yeah,
So I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. Because, I mean,
Make it with his fucking mini jersey shirt.
What's that?
The '80s version of Jacob, he wears the like the jersey, but it's cut off right under his nipples,
Oh,
like in the
like
'80s.
they did back in the...
Yeah,
Hey, I was alive
yeah.
during that time. I remember that shit.
I was alive, but too young to remember it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was... Oh my God, I do remember that stuff. Yeah, I might try it out just to see that. Well, not just see Jacob, but just to try that out. I would actually, after watching that, I would love to see David Arquette and Ted Raimi actually play brothers in a movie.
That'd be cool.
Those two, I don't know what it is. I just feel like when they were in that short scene where they're bantering in the jail's
Yeah,
house, I'm just like, oh my God, this was meant to be. But I don't know, it was an okay game. I think I enjoy the Turtles game more. But you know, there's nothing really bad with the game. It's just really slow.
I mean, it delivers what it promises. It's an
Yeah,
interactive movie
I thought the
game.
controls kind of sucked a little bit though.
I don't know.
Kendall's usually pretty good with playing games, and she could not shoot Caleb at the end with the London chick from Sweet Life on Deck, whatever her name is, Macaulay Culkin's wife.
Brenda Song.
Yeah, her. Yeah, she ended up dying. We used the rest of our hearts up on her.
No, well,
Yep, she didn't make it.
almost.
She doesn't make it in the gruesome ending either. So you know the junkyard where Dylan and Song go
Yeah.
there. It's only Song. Dylan's dead. So she goes there, and she's a complete idiot in it. But there's this one like container or container, whatever you call them, cargo container.
Yeah, the shipping container. Yeah.
Shipping container. Yeah, there's a shipping container with like a pole, jack stand pole underneath it, where she pulls that to make it come down as the werewolf's coming at her to crush it, but she kills herself in the process. It's uneventful as hell.
Oh well.
So I was a little bummed by that. In the very, very end, well, Ted Raimi gets his head ripped off. That's actually pretty cool. Because
See, in my version, he lives.
this is the gruesome ending.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the werewolf Cyrus reaches in, grabs his head, pulls up, and there's that slight like jerk where it's ripping loose, and then it pops loose, and it's just so satisfying. It what you need to do is start the gruesome version, and then go walk away for an hour, 2.5 hours, and then come back. The good news is you can save it.
Well, I need to do it now. You told me what I need to know, so.
Well, I didn't tell you about Pikachu and One-Eye Jack. What happens to her?
One-Eyed Jack.
Yeah, I can never remember their names.
Laura,
yeah. So it's Ted Raimi, Laura, and Pikachu all in the car, and like it probably was when you played it normally. And he gets his head ripped up. Well, first they get their head banged. You probably remember that. That was actually in the game.
Yeah.
And they're kind of knocked out, and the shotgun's there. And Laura's yelling at Pikachu, "Wake up!" And freaking all of a sudden, that's Raimi loses his head. The thing crashes and rolls. It's actually pretty cool. And then Laura gets out. She has the shotgun, and she's like screams just as Cyrus is coming down, and then bam, shoots Cyrus in the face. Cyrus kind of does this like slow death thing. It's actually pretty cool. And then they roll the credits where they tell you who died and everything. Well, Pikachu died. I'm like, really? He died from that roller? We don't get to see it? He didn't get impaled or something? He's just dead from his injuries? Okay, fine. And then Laura, she died too. I'm like, shit.
how'd she die if she shot the...
It was her last breath. I'm like, really? You couldn't show her with
cheap.
him?
That's kind of cheap.
I thought so too. I'm like, you know what? She just got in an accident. At least show her impaled with something. Like, show that it's her last. I mean, I get it's a game. You're not going to get the full human experience. But I'm like, you made Pikachu a creepy-ass bastard throughout the whole game. Can't you give some belief to this? Impale her with something from the accident so you can tell?
So he dies off screen, basically.
Yeah. Oh, he did. Literally died off screen.
And they're just like, oh yeah, by the way, she died too.
Pretty much. Kendall and I did not know she was dead. Like, they rolled the thing, and it's like, deceased. She gave her life. I'm like, what? No, fuck that. That did not happen. Oh, and then Jacob and Emma, they're still alive. Because Jacob, even though he was bit and he was turning and he went to attack Emma, he's freaking out. Well, apparently, I don't remember this happening. Maybe I didn't pay enough attention. Emma gave Jacob a silver bracelet at one point. He rips it off his hand, throws it down, and is like, get away from me, fuck you, rah. Like he's freaking out because he's turning into a werewolf. That's fine, dandy, no big deal. All of a sudden, he's all bloody werewolf. Emma picks up the silver, realizing what's going on, and when Jacob comes to attack, she's like jabbing at him, and it burns.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty cool scene. I won't rip on it too much, but it is kind of lame. But it's kind of 80s lame. So like when we're watching it, we're also noting contour errors. And Kendall and I were just joking around about, well, there's always continuity errors in horror movies. So we're pretending they did it on purpose. It's because at one point Pikachu doesn't have the knife in his side. So we're like, did he pull it out? Because when we got the choice, we didn't pull it out.
Oh, when I had the choice, I did.
Did you die?
No, because I had her bite him.
Oh, at that point we did it, but there was a point earlier where you got a choice too.
I think I let Ethan Suppley pull it out, and he's bleeding, and she's dragging him. He's like, I'm going to dive. And she's like, well, I can save you, but I have to bite you.
We did it at that point too.
Yeah.
And in the Gorefest version, you do it at that point also.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's the same. Most of the game is the same. We found that watching it through again, it's like when you get options to do stuff, you're not really getting options to do stuff.
I think it just changes a little bit because he has the knife in him, and he pulls it out later or something. I thought I read.
Yeah.
To stab somebody else.
He stabs Bobby, the guy from My Name Is Earl.
Yeah.
So like the scene where Winter or whatever her name is, her and the Australian dude get attacked. If you do all the jumps and stuff and don't miss any of the Dragon's Lair pits, you get away. And you go run for help, blah, 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 whatever. If you don't and you trip on all that crap, you get attacked and you get injured, but it plays no role in how you are. 2 scenes later, you're fine again. Because you get scratched by the werewolf. Not bitten, scratched. because we still ended up in the pool house where we got the option: do you shoot Nick or not? And oh yeah, Australian guy's Nick, and and then in the gruesome version, you do shoot, but you miss, and then then your head gets ripped off.
Yeah.
Which I gotta admit was pretty cool. There are some things though in the Gorefest version where Kendall and I were both like looking at each other like, "Do you remember that part?" And we're like, "No." Like there was like clue things here and there that we just never came across.
Or you made a decision you didn't go down that path, and it was just for
Yeah,
something else.
like killing the squirrel. There's when you're in the golf cart, you can make a choice to go
Yeah.
one way or another, and there's one where Summer actually or Winter runs over the squirrel, so then they got to kill it with a rock. It's a really stupid scene. It doesn't give any levity to the game at all, but it's just something different. Um, it was neat. It was neat. It's no Black Phone. I mean,
Well, yeah.
of course, what is? That's one of my favorite movies right now.
Black Phone.
Yeah. Kendall wants me to watch it again. I'm like, I don't know. I think I will, but it's just, it's not going to be as good.
I like the fact that they didn't consider a sequel when they wrote it and did it.
That's how everything should be.
I mean, I'm sure they're talking about one. I don't know how you would do it, but whatever. It's a supernatural kind of thing. But I don't know if I should spoil it, I guess, but we already done spoilers, so what the hell?
oh yeah. Well, all right, wait, you're gonna bring, oh, all right. So if anyone hasn't seen Black Phone, you know what? We're going to end this one right here. We're just going to do another one about Black Phone,
All right.
even if it's short. Hey, that's the end of this one. I know I abruptly ended that, but if you're wondering why we do that, it's because we actually record a bunch of these at once, and we just randomly talk. Scott and I have been friends for years, and this is what we used to do even when we don't record. But if it's something that you like or hit like, but you can catch us on Rumble, YouTube, Anchor, Google Cast, all the goofy different things out there. But let us know. Give us some ideas. You can leave messages on Anchor. You can YouTube comments, Rumble comments. YouTube's probably the one we followed the most just because it's the easiest as of right now, but we do want to function with Rumble a little bit more. But otherwise, yeah, let us know. Thanks.